Hello everyone, and welcome to our August YouTube video. I just want to say that this is going to be the last of our videos. We've done them since April, and the reason we began them back then was that we weren't able to meet at the Merley Hall. We didn't know how long it was going to be for, and we weren't able to get speakers to come and join us on our monthly Zoom get-together. We did meet at Zoom from the beginning, but that was more just for a chit-chat, and I think sometimes we had a quiz, courtesy of Wendy. But we weren't able to give you any sort of a talk, which you're entitled to as a WI member. You get 11 meetings a year, and you pay your subs, and you should get something for that, is what the committee felt, which is where the videos came in. But now I think a lot of people who speak to groups like the WI are realizing that they're going to have to talk to groups on Zoom because so many groups like us are not able to meet in person. We don't know when we're going to be able to. So obviously last month we had Trevor Wiltshire came and spoke to us at our July meeting, which was lovely. And we've got speakers lined up for the next several meetings. So this will be the last video, but I do hope you've enjoyed them. And if you missed one, all you need to do is go to youtube.com and search for Crowlas Ludgvan WI, and you'll see our April, May, June, July 5 videos that you can watch again. As I said, we do have speakers lined up. Our first one is this Monday. I hope that I'll see lots of you there. We're welcoming David Chapman, who's a photographer, and he has spoken to us before, but not for a number of years. And I think we did a bird watching walk with him not that long ago. He's going to come and talk to us about Cornish wildlife and where to spot it. So that should be really good. In September, we have Julian Boast, who is the CEO and creative director of the Hall for Cornwall. So any questions you have about the progress of the building work at the Hall for Cornwall, bring your questions with you in September. In October, Jenny Goodman is going to talk to us about Cornish landscapes. And in November, we have Jenny Parker from the RSPB. We haven't worked beyond that because we have no idea what's going to happen. Well, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, do we? Certainly not in the new year. Coming up soon, we have our garden get-togethers on the 26th, Wednesday the 26th. And I do hope lots of you will be there. Unfortunately, I double booked myself and I have a Federation WI meeting that same day, so I won't be able to be there. I'm really sorry. Please take pictures and send them to us, crowlasludgvanwi@gmail.com. Love to see pictures, and also please keep your fingers crossed that there's good weather. I would hate to have it rained out, but if it is, we'll reschedule, so don't worry. There have been a couple of cancellations of Federation events. The Heavenly Greenery flower arranging at the church in Carbis Bay has been cancelled, and Take a Town Hail with Trevor Smitheram has also been cancelled. But don't worry, if you applied and sent in payment for any of those, either of those events, you'll get reimbursed if you haven't already been. The other news from the Federation is that our office at Chynoweth is now reopened. It's open Tuesday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And there are all sorts of COVID-19 security measures in place as a full risk assessment. So if you're in the area and you would like to drop in, I promise you, you'll be completely safe. And the staff would love to see you because they've missed seeing WI members. They've been working from home since March. Right, that brings us to this video. I'd like to introduce a talk by Breathing Space Singing, which is an organization that was brought to the attention of the committee by Julie Blewett, who is a committee member, and she is involved with Breathing Space. They're an organization that helps people with lung conditions like asthma, for instance. It helps them improve their breathing and their lung capacity through breathing exercises, but more importantly through singing. So I hope you enjoy this, and keep an eye out for Julie because you'll probably spot her in the video.
Like a seed, I will treat in the earth of things to come. I will sleep in the darkness. Like a seed, I will treat in the earth of things to come. Yo, 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 yo.
Hello, my name's Chris Moore. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Breathing Space Singing. It was formed originally 7 years since by our local singing lady, Pip Wright, with help from myself and Chris Castley, who was a respiratory specialist nurse running pulmonary rehab groups. We ran a pilot for 4 weeks, 22 people with chronic lung conditions, and we based our research on the findings of the Sydney de Haan Institute and Canterbury University and other research worldwide. The overall findings from our group and worldwide were that practical breathing exercises and singing regularly in a group produce a sense of well-being in people. It also reduces feelings of anxiety and isolation, because if people can't breathe very well, they don't feel like going out, start coughing, they can't breathe. Singing helps to reduce all these feelings. It also helps to control breathing during episodes of acute breathlessness. And quite a few of our group members have said this. The levels of oxygen in the body are increased, and many muscle groups are exercised during singing and breathing exercises, even when people are sitting down. The levels of antibodies in the blood are also increased during singing, and as you know, antibodies increase the levels of immunity in your body. Different hormones help to reduce stress levels, and finally the hormone oxytocin, which is produced during pregnancy and sex, is also produced. It's a feel-good factor hormone, so it's not surprising really that people say that they feel exhilarated after they've had a singing session. One lady at a group, when I was giving a talk, asked the question, and she said, if I sing when I'm having sex, she said, will I get a double dose of oxytocin? So, not quite sure how to answer that. Okay, so what's not to like? If you feel like you know somebody, or you've got breathing problems yourself, a long-term lung condition, please come along to our group and we'll see what we can do to help you. Our group now consists of Sophie Hallin, who's our singing leader, Liz Shales, who's our finance organiser, transport organisers Hilary Chapman, and I'm mainly responsible for recruitment, membership and publicity. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sophia Halling and I've been the singing leader of Breathing Space for just over a year now. I teach quite a few other choirs, but Breathing Space is the only one that I teach with a sort of specific objective other than just singing, of course. We normally meet on Fridays in Townsend Village Hall in the afternoons, which is a really lovely village hall actually, because it's just really light and bright and open. It's got lots of level parking right next to it. The disabled access is good. Also, Hilary, who you'll meet a bit later in the video, she organises volunteer drivers for those members that don't have their own transport. So that makes it really accessible to lots of people, which is great. Afterwards, after we've done a bit of singing, we have tea and biscuits and chats, which is nice. But which is, you know, one of the things that unfortunately we can't do at the moment. Since the COVID outbreak, we've had to have all of our rehearsals on Zoom. And some of our members don't have a computer, which is very sad because that means they can't join us. So there are some downsides to the Zoom. On the upside though, Kay, who you'll also meet later, she's moved away from Cornwall and would otherwise not be able to join us in Townsend because she lives too far away now. But she can join us in our new Zoom format. So I guess the technology has its ups and downs.
Shrug your shoulders up and make a face like you're sucking a lemon, and down with a blah. And then same again, shrug your shoulders right up, sucky lemon face, Down with a bear. Take some shoulder rolls, nice shoulders rolls one way, and then rolling the other way.
I couldn't sing a note. I didn't know what singing was. I enjoyed listening to it, but I never dared to try it. Then I heard about breathing space, and wow, what a change. You have Sophia. She's jolly, she's ebullient, she makes us laugh, she's encouraging, and she puts up with all sorts of stuff. The other thing I'd like to say is the breadth of music that she chooses is very useful indeed, because we don't dwell on nibs and shepherds, we do the whole range of what's available. Thoroughly recommend it.
Okay, so now just do a little bit of belly breathing. So we're just concentrating now on the moving of the belly. So breathing in, your hand will come out. And then hissing, squeezing your navel towards your spine. It's squeezing it in, squeezing it in, squeezing it in, squeezing it in, squeezing it in. Keep it held in for a second and then let it hang out and the air come back in. And relax.
I've been a member of Breathing Space Singers since the start, taking part in the pilot project 5 years ago. It is always an enjoyable experience meeting up with people who've similar lung health conditions. The group is relaxed and it's fun and it's very welcoming to new members. And even though I've been doing the breathing exercises right from the start, I still learn new techniques, new ways of breathing that help me in my daily life and help with my asthma. The singing is really varied and wonderful, and I always leave feeling very uplifted, which is great. It does you a power of good. My father, who came to live with us recently, he's 95, he has a very serious lung condition, and he joined the group having never done anything like that before in his life, and he really loved it. It was the main focus of his week, and even though he's not able to sing with us anymore, he always asks about the people that he remembers from Breathing Space. So that it just shows that we're a really lovely, friendly group and would welcome anybody who's got a lung condition that we can help with in any way, shape or form. Thank you.
Okay, so now with that same belly breathing movement, so this is the bit thing, you're going to do ha 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 ha. Unfortunately, I have to mute you now because of the time now. How annoying. Right. Muting all. Sorry about that. All together. So it's going to be ha 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 ha.
The whole idea of mixing up your singing and your breathing exercises so good, and it's very encouraging. I also like the people that I've met, because living basically on my own, in a community, but on my own, to meet other people who like to sing is a big improvement. I mean, I too also go to another choir, but again, that's serious singing, whereas this is an encouraging sing. And thank you, Sophie.
Ready? Yep. 1, 2. One more time round. 1, 2. It's a big blue Spanish sky. Lay on my back and watch clouds roll by. I got the time to wonder why she left me. She left me.
I just wanted to say that although my asthma is well controlled, I have had spells of being unwell, which makes you feel quite vulnerable. And I think attended something like Breathing Spaces, it makes you realise that you're not alone in how you suffer, and it just helps you to remain relaxed. It helps you to think about how you should be breathing and doing breathing exercises to help you relax rather than panic in your lack of breathing ability. The other thing is that I did a bit like Linda really. I didn't consider that I don't consider I'm a singer, but actually I do enjoy singing, and because this is just a bit of fun, there's no sort of strictness to it. I do enjoy it, so thank you.
Time and space, as they say, are things which cannot be. The sun which does not feel decay, no greater is than we. So I love, should we ever pray to live a century? The butterfly that lives a day has lived eternity.
Yes, I sing in another choir as well, but it's a bit more conventional and traditional, whereas this choir is specifically for those of us who need to cough in the middle of singing something or can't quite hold our breath long enough on a note. And what I love about it is that every week I feel I'm doing my lungs the power of good, with the exercises and with the singing, and singing with everyone else who understands that. We don't need to talk about it. It's just how it is, and everybody's very accepting if you need to cough, or if you can't catch your breath, or if you need to walk away for a minute and come back. Fantastic. And as Linda said, it's just amazingly good fun. Yeah, that's it really.
I will sleep in the darkness, like a seed. I will read in the earth of things to come. I will sleep in the darkness, like a seed. I will read in the earth of things to come. Yo, 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 yo.
I'd like to thank Breathing Space very much for providing that video for us. And if any of you watching think that you could benefit from their services, please contact them on the details that were provided up on the screen just a second ago, or you can see Julie Blewett for more information. I'd now like to introduce Jackie Gotch, who's going to give us some simple tips for making lovely greeting cards at home. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I just thought I'd do a little demonstration of some cards that I've been making while we've been in lockdown. Sometimes it's been quite difficult to get to the shops, and so I dug out some of my old recycled papers and card and stuff to see what I could make. I first of all found this brown card. It was from inside a box actually that I had as a parcel through the door. And inside the box was this sheet of quite thick paper, and it's made some lovely cards, and I folded it up and it's actually made a 6" by 6" card, which I thought was quite a good size to use. Anyway, what I then did was I got some old recycling papers, some papers that I found in a box that I'd got stashed away somewhere, and I've used these. You can use wrapping paper, you can use offcuts of wallpaper if it's not too thick. Just cut it up or not, as the case may be, but I thought it would be quite nice to cut these into little strips. And what I did with the strips was I wove them together and made a little weaving pattern with them. I then stuck them with glue onto the card and then cut round the excess and made a little card like that. I then got an old birthday card that had got happy birthday written on it. Ta-da! And I got the happy birthday to put on the front. I like to put them on an angle, mainly because I'm not very good at squaring things up and I don't always get things straight. So at an angle, it doesn't matter whether it's straight or not. It looks quite pretty. Then with the next one, I got some same papers, but I did them in strips. And I found a little birthday cake on another birthday card that I'd saved. This one has got 3 layers, so it makes a nice little decoupage birthday cake. And I put that then on the front of that one, and it makes a lovely little birthday card again. Almost the same colours, using it. That was quite a good idea, that, I thought. And then the last one, I used some printing card. Now, printing card's quite cheap to buy, and it comes in A4 size, and you can cut it up to whatever size you want. I then put the papers on in a different shape again. And then I got another birthday card that had got happy birthday on, that was one of my old ones. Cut it up, put it on the front, and it makes a lovely little birthday card. I hope that's a little bit of an interest to you. I know it's not a very long video, but I thought you could have a little go at that yourselves. Hope you do. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Jackie. And finally, I would like to introduce Vicky Harrison. She's not a WI member, but she does workshops for the place I work. And she's going to show us quite quickly how to make a beautiful origami blow-up fish. So have a go along with her, or if you don't have any suitable paper at hand, watch again later and make one then. Thank you.
Good morning. So today we're going to do how to make a blow-up origami fish. My name's Vix, and these are origami fish. I don't know whether you can see that, but I've made a beautiful mobile of them. We've got little blue ones here, swim in a swim. You can put magnets on the end and make a fishing rope with another magnet so that you can catch them, or you can put a little bit of wire and use a little hook to catch them. But I personally love them as mobiles. I think they're really beautiful. I'm going to put this in my window later. So, what you need is squares of paper. Now I've got a pack here with all sorts of pieces in, but any paper will do, and you just need squares, and they need to be proper squares. With a rectangle you can sort of fold down the corner and then tear a square. This is about 6 by 6 inches, 25 by 25 centimetres, something like that. But you can try it with different sizes. So you have a fancy side and a plain side. Now if you're doing it with plain paper, I suggest you write front on one side and back on the other side, and then what you can do is decorate it at the end. So we start by looking at the front side. So you want to look at the front side, and then you want to fold it in half from one side to the other. Just checking I can see on there. And make a nice sharp fold. So crease it along with your fingernail. Okay, so you've got a fold, and then you want to fold it side to side in the other direction. These are called valley folds. So now what I've got is I've got a cross that goes across the front of the paper of valley folds. So they're folds that, you know, fold in like a valley. Now turn your paper over to the back side, or you might have written back side. You might have written back on the back side, something like that. Okay, so now you want to fold corner to corner in half. in exactly the same way. So fold corner like that, 2 corner like that. So now you've got a triangle. If you turn the triangle and take the sort of 2 halves of each corner and press them to each other, you'll find it folds into a shape like that. So can you see? If you look at it that way, you can kind of see what's happening. So you sort of press it all together and fold it. So it looks like 2 triangles on top of each other. Can you see the 2 halves there? Yeah, so it looks like 2 triangles on top of each other. So lay it down on the table with the open side facing you. Okay, and then you want to fold, you want to take the front of the work as you're looking at it, take a corner, so that's a corner, and fold it up to the point at the top. Okay, and then take another corner and fold it up to the top. So it looks like this. Can you see? So you've got those bits folded up to the top. Lay it down in front of you again, and then what you want to do is you want to fold these corners into the middle. So these corners here. So now it looks like that. Okay. So lay it down in front of you again. And what you want to do now, you'll notice at the top of the work, so at the top of the mountain, if you like, the point on the top, you've got 2 loose triangles. Fold them in half to meet the edge that you've just folded. So let me see. Can you see those have been folded down so to meet this edge? Lay it down in front of you again, and what you want to do then is you want to open up the triangles that you folded here. You want to sort of open them up and then tuck that corner in. So sort of tuck it in. The neater you can do it, the better your fish is going to look. So tucking it right in. Let's see, like that. So I've tucked my edges in. So you've got this bit's kind of going to be the fish's body. Okay, so now what you can do is you can turn it over so that you've got a plain triangle on the back, well, a sort of triangle that's not been folded, and you want to fold the corners downwards to the middle, so like this. So you're folding it like that down and like that down, because you're making the fish's tail. Can you see that? So you're making the fish's tail. So it was a triangle and then you folded it down. Now what you need to do, lay it down again so that that bit you've just folded is in front of you, and take the bottom corners and you want to fold them out a bit to make the rest of the fish's tail. So can you see we had that shape and then we folded it down to there. And now's the fun part. So what you need to do, you need to fold those 2 up, those 2 shapes you've made up to meet. You see they meet there, so fold it up to meet. So you folded this to meet. Didn't do that one very neatly. And then you hold that and you blow in his bum. And hey presto, there you go, hey presto, one blown up fish. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the video.
Thank you, Vicky. That was great. If any of you made any of Jackie's cards, or if you made an origami fish like Vicky's, please send us pictures to Crowlas Ludgvan WI at gmail.com, and we'll put them on Facebook or maybe in the next newsletter. So that brings us to the end of our final video. As I said, I do hope you enjoyed them, and they will be on YouTube probably forever, so you can always watch them again. And I look forward to seeing everyone on Monday. Please come out on Monday, 7:30, and help us welcome David Chapman. Thank you. I'll see you then.